Magandang araw, Doc Cuenca and my fellow classmates. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sir Shanrico Aybalang. I'm a faculty member at Finma Oral University under the College of Education and Liberal Arts, currently teaching senior high school and college students. In this report, we will delve deeper into the ethical issues in education. But before that, let us check the objectives of this lesson. First, analyze how socioeconomic status, race, gender, and ability influence educational equity and identify strategies to address disparities. Second, evaluate teacher-student relationships to foster a safe, respectful environment by maintaining professional boundaries and ensuring inclusivity. And lastly, address ethical issues in standardized testing by examining its impact, fairness, and exploring alternative assessments. Having said those objectives, let us proceed with our main topic for today about the ethical issues in education. You as a teacher, what will you do if you encounter those situations that may seem unethical? Let us talk about that in this lesson. Basically, when we say ethical education, this refers to moral challenges and dilemmas that arise in teaching and learning environments. These issues are concerned with upholding principles of fairness, justice, respect, and integrity within educational practices. And addressing ethical issues requires educators, administrators, and policymakers to make thoughtful, morally responsible choices that prioritize the well-being and fair treatment for all students. First on our list of ethical issues is equity and access to education. As pillars of learning, we must ensure that all students, regardless of socioeconomic status, race, gender, or ability, have equal access to quality education. However, some students may lack resources or support, no? Especially money, pera, which limits their learning opportunities. And we all know that some of our students are not able to finish their studies, elementary, high school, or even college kasi walang pera, walang baon, or walang panggastos sa mga bayarin sa school. No? Especially our ethnic tribes here in the Philippines, yung mga lalo na sa malayong lugar, yung mga nasa bundok. No? But with perseverance, in 2017, we have a first ATA who graduated from the University of the Philippines. His name is Norman King, and he proved that education really is for all. That is why it is crucial that we have scholarships that could help the needy. And of course, we must raise awareness of how important it is to finish their studies so that everyone will be encouraged to enroll. And with that, no one will be left behind. And as educators, we must still in our mind that regardless of who our students are, they should all have the opportunity to have a proper education. I hope that's clear. The second ethical issue in education is the teacher-student relationship. Now, ito na, no? We as teachers must maintain a professional boundary and foster a safe, respectful learning environment for our students. However, it becomes wrong when we have favoritism and inappropriate relationship with our students. No? Let's talk about favoritism first. Sometimes we cannot hinder ourselves from being amazed at our students because they excel in our class. Ang galing-galing naman ni student, no? But it doesn't mean that they will be our favorite to the point that we become biased when grading them. No? What do you mean by bias? So say for example, perhaps it happened to some of us already. Sometimes when we are grading the students' essays, we're not done reading them yet, but we already have a score in our mind. Because we know if the student is performing well or not in our class. And basically that's wrong, no? That's bias. our grading must be based on criteria or rubrics alone. All right. And um, worst of all, no, moving forward, there are teachers who are having intimate relationships with their students. Ito yung pinakamalala, pinakamali. First of all, we're like their second parents. And second, masakit sa mata. Uh, Story time, when I was browsing on Facebook, ang daming nag-share sa FB ng post na to, may siguro na-encounter nyo rin siya or nakita nyo rin sa Facebook. Ang context niya ganito, yung elementary teacher na guy, pinost niya yung old class picture niya with his wife. And ang plot twist, yung elementary teacher na yon na nag-post ay nakatuluyan niya yung student niya na nasa class picture. And syempre, adult na yung student na yon. And na-reveal yun through that post. Siguro hindi niya na-anticipate na magiging ganun yung reaction ng mga tao. And ang daming angry react because of the age gap, as they say. And I believe there's nothing wrong with the age gap if di naman sobrang layo. Pero pag sobra-sobra talaga, I believe there's something wrong. And it's like you exploited the person you love right now. And hopefully, hindi nangyari yon while student niya pa yung wife niya because it's so inappropriate and unimaginable. Ayan, medyo mabigat yung topic but it really happens, no? But moving forward, third on our list is academic integrity and honesty. This is rampant, before and up until now, cheating, pangongopya. Especially if we're on online learning, kasi with just one click, you can find the right answer using Mr. Google and Miss AI, everything is easy, easy peasy. Just to share with you, here at Orolio, during face-to-face exams, what we are doing to make sure that there will be no cheating, we make two sets of exam, set A and set B, different set of questions. That way, we can lessen the cheating incidents here at school. Also, what we do as proctors is we instill in students' mind our rules before the exam, no cell phones, no bags at front, no extra noise, no permit, no exam, etc., etc. And that will help, and as for online learning, siguro what we can do as teachers is to use AI detectors, Kung kayang gumamit ng AI ng student, why not use AI detectors as teacher? And you as a teacher, you know them best, yeah? You know the capability of your students, so you can distinguish how to assess them effectively. If sila ba talaga gumagawa ng outputs nila, or they are just cheating, The fourth ethical issue is standardized assessment. Bakit siya naging ethical issue? Because of the over-reliance on traditional tests that can create high pressure and may not accurately reflect students' abilities. Minsan, as teachers, naging basehan natin na matalino ang bata pag mataas ang score sa exam. And that is not fair. Because there are students who are better at application when they are doing what they have learned in the class. Say for example, sa English learning, instead na mag-focus ka sa grammatical errors or memorization, why not let the student speak, recitation, role playing, oral presentation, and such, Sa science, you can do experiments sa MAPE, dancing, singing, acting, and the like, That way, mas nakikita mo yung potential ng students, alternative and performance-based assessments, Moving forward, another ethical issue in education is inclusive education and special needs, Without a doubt, schools are ethically obligated to support diverse learners. But sometimes resources are limited. And that's true, no? Yes, meron tayong SPED, no? Meron tayong SPED school, which caters to our students who have special needs. However, no, sa regular class kasi, meron pa rin tayong mga students who have special needs. And ang tendency, pag nasa regular class sila, is mabubuli or malileft out kasi they are taught to be different, no? So as teachers, we must do all things possible para maramdaman nila na belong sila sa school. No? Provide all the necessary ways for them to learn regardless of their difficult situations or adversities. No? What we can do is to try to incorporate differentiated and personalized instructions or lessons in your class that consider the needs of your diverse learners, right? Next issue is privacy and use of technology. No, yes, no, technology is crucial for learning. Talagang nakakatulong siya sa mga teacher at mga bata, no? You can create PowerPoint, make them watch YouTube videos or search for answers if they have assignments, no? But it doesn't mean that we have to use it entirely for learning. Hindi mo gagamitin yung technology sa kabuuan ng pag-aaral ng mga bata, no? Say for example, sa klase, you don't allow the students to use their phone or laptop during the class unless it is a subject that is related to IT, technology. Through technology, minsan nalalabag din natin yung Privacy Act ng mga bata, no? Say for example, natuwa ka sa mga student mo kasi may gift sila sa'yo, so you posted them on social media, no? But that action is actually wrong, no? Hindi mo pwedeng i-post agad-agad yung bata, no? Yung post sa mga bata unless i-post mo yung mga bata unless meron kang consent from them, no? Or from their parents. Kasi pwedeng gamitin yun against them, no? Therefore, pag ginawa mo yun, nilabag mo yung rights nila to privacy na dapat ikaw yung pumoprotekta. Right? Moving forward, another ethical issue is cultural sensitivity and diversity. Teachers should avoid cultural biases in teaching and ensure that diverse backgrounds are respected, represented, and celebrated. No, kahit ano pa man yung nationality, race, or ethnic tribe ng students, we must respect them all. No? Just to share with you, one time sa klase ko sa AB English, meron akong student na galing ng Samar, no? Ang native tongue niya ay Waray, and nagkaroon kami ng reporting. She was shy speaking, and talagang nanginginig siya. So, tinanong ko what's reason, kung bakit siya nahihiya. Sabi niya, nahihiya daw siya kasi merong time na napagtawanan siya kasi matigas daw siya magsalita ng English. And as teachers, we must not tolerate those actions, yung mga ganong scenario, We must let the students know na whoever they are, they are valued and respected, hindi pinagtatawanan sa klase, Hindi siya tinotolerate sa klase, Next ethical issue is corporal punishment. We already know this, We teachers must not incorporate in any ways this kind of punishment. Bukod sa may batas na nagbabawal na saktan or ipahiya sa klase ang students, alam naman natin na yung feeling ng ganitong pangyayari, So, di na dapat natin ginagawa sa student because this may lead para mag-drop sila or di na magtuloy ng pag-aaral, Alright? Another is bullying and harassment, another ethical issue. This is somehow related sa corporal punishment, pero yung kaklase na yung gumagawa ng pananakit or pamamahiya. Bullying can be in different forms. It could be physical, emotional, or cyberbullying. And all of these forms of bullying are dangerous. Pwedeng mag-lead yan sa depression, dropout, and merong instances na mas pinipili na lang ng bata to commit suicide. Sorry for the word, but it happens, no? Hopefully, as teachers, we must not neglect bullying, and report it to our guidance office and to our authority. And last ethical issue is teacher workload, no, and well-being. No? We all know that teaching is the most noble profession, and it is really hard, no? Mahirap talaga. That is why we must be resilient, no? Kailangan matatag ang loob, pero there are really instances for other teachers na minsan overload sila sa subject and not well compensated, no? Luckily, no? First teaching ko sa private school, well compensated kami, and also our heads are considerate of us, no? Especially sa loading namin. Hindi kami binibigyan ng super daming preps. Hopefully, this is also the same with other private school, hopefully we build a healthy work-life balance, no? Same with the public school in teaching, no? Kasi if the teacher, no, has good well-being, he or she will be able to give the best service, the best education for the students. Alright, so that's it for the ethical issues in education. Let's now proceed on the assessment part. If you have learned something, I do have questions here, and you may answer this later. Let me read. Number 1, which ethical issue do you find most challenging to navigate in your teaching practice, and how do you address it? Number 2, how do you balance promoting academic integrity with understanding and supporting students who struggle with ethical behavior such as plagiarism or cheating? And number 3, in your experience, what strategies have been most effective in creating a culturally sensitive and inclusive classroom environment? To help you understand more about the ethical issues in education, I have prepared 3 videos for reflection. The first video is about the importance of maintaining respect in the classroom, supporting struggling students, and, of course, consistent discipline to help them succeed in life. Please watch attentively.
Quiet! Bring out your books and turn to page 51. Today's lesson is the use of have to and has to. Who can tell me the difference and the usage? Mr. De Guzman? Nothing? So what is this? Nobody read their assignments at home? None of you can even answer me? Why are you late, Mr. Tolentino?
Ano po kasi ma'am, bumili po ako ng ballpen.
Let me remind you, this is English class.
I bought a pen, ma'am.
Sit down and bring out your book.
Yes, ma'am, sorry po.
Quiet!
Yan si Ma'am Evangelista. Stricto, lagi nakasimangot, nakakatakot. Para siyang pinaglihis sa samahan ng loob.
Yes, Mr. Tolentino? Late again, Mr. Tolentino? Remove your earrings!
Parang kada araw na lang may issue si Ma'am.
Where is your book? How will you read the lesson?
Pero kahit ganun siya, siya pa rin ang favorite teacher ko.
I'm really worried about your grades and your habitual tardiness.
I'm sorry po, ma'am. Hindi na po mauulit.
May problema ba sa bahay?
Wala naman po.
Nandito lang ako pag kailangan mo ng kausap. Ako ang nanay mo sa school.
Dahil kay ma'am, natuto akong mag-English. Dahil kay ma'am, nahilig ako magbasa.
Yes! Hindi mo nakapasa ako! Pasa ako!
Dahil kay ma'am, natuto ako.
Oh, you're early. Okay, please take note of the scope of your periodical exam. Number 1, compound nouns. Number 2, transitive verbs. Number 3,
Dahil kay ma'am,
Mr. Tolentino.
ganito ako ngayon. Ma'am,
Is he going to be my teacher?
Yes, go to your teacher.
Hi, teacher.
ang cute mo naman. What's your name?
Ace po.
Ikaw nang bahala sa apo ko, ha?
Sige po.
What an inspiring story, Moving forward, the second video shares the inspiring story of an IT student who graduated as valedictorian. It shows the challenges indigenous students face and highlights the importance of inclusivity in education. Here's the video.
Matinding pagpupursige ang ginawa ng batang Aita na si Krisa, kaya nagtapos siya bilang valedictorian sa elementarya. At para maabot ang kanyang pangarap na makatapos ng high school, mas iba yung tiyaga ang handa niyang ilaan. At kung bakit, alamin po sa pagtutok ni Lala Roque.
Ang mga ganitong graduation ceremonies puno dapat ng ligaya, lalo na kung ikay nagtapos bilang class valedictorian. Pero si Krisa ayaw daw muna sanang gumraduate dahil kakambal nito ang pangambang baka hindi na siya makatapak sa high school.
Labay ko po nin makatulong ha. Totoo ako. Bihag ko ka.
Mas sipag naman sila, yung lalo na yung first honor natin saka second. Araw-araw talaga pumapasok yung mga yan. Talagang nagpupursige para makapagtapos dahil nga mayroon din silang pangarap sa buhay.
Pero ang mga katutubong Aita ng alunan na gumagraduate ng elementarya gaya ni Krisa, kailangan maglakad na humigit kumulang 13 kilometro kung gusto nilang pumasok sa pinakamalapit na high school. Bukod sa bundok, kailangan din nilang lakarin ang malawak na kapatagang ito na natabunan ng lahar ng pumutok noon ang Mount Pinatubo. Kaya di na raw katakataka na sa 18 nag-high school mula sa Alunan, 3 na lang ang natitirang magpapatuloy sa kanilang pag-aaral.
Isa pang factor kaya hindi sila nag-high school, kung mag-aaral sila doon, wala din silang matutuluyan.
Kabilang sa mga tumigil na ang dating class valedictorian ng Alunan, ang ate ni Krisa.
Nahinto siya ng 2 buwan. Yan ang dahilan, ma'am, na malayong distansya namin sa high school na eskwelahan.
Ayaw matulad ni Krisa sa sinapit ng kanyang ate. Balang araw din daw kasi gusto niyang gumawa ng hakbang para masolusyonan ang problema ng mga gaya nilang katutubo.
Gusto ko po sana maging isang teacher para sa dumating na para din po ako makatulong sa mga nag-aaral po dito.
Gayon din ang kanyang mga kaklase.
Gusto ko po maging doktor,
Engineer,
teacher.
Lala Roque, nakatutok, 24 oras.
And as for the last video, it reminds us to respect and support the students with disabilities. Their challenges shouldn't stop them from learning, and we can actually help them reach their dreams.
Larawan po ng inspirasyon ng isang grade 1 pupil sa Batangas na tuloy sa pagpupursigi sa kabila ng kanyang kapansanan.
Ang kanya nakakabilib na pagsisikap sa kabila ng hamon ng buhay, ating saksihan. Back to school na at isa sa ma-excited sa pagpasok bilang grade 1 pupil, si Just Angel. Alam niyang iba siya sa mga classmate. Putol ang mga braso. Ang 2 paa hindi pantay.
Bakit ka nahihirapan?
Kasi po po, isa lang po ang meron aking paa.
Pero,
masaya pa din po ako. Dahil po, nakakalakad po ako.
Pero kahit may disability, good vibes si Josh. Nakakabasa siya at nakakapagsulat gamit ang isa niyang paa. Kaya si teacher, believe.
Very active, bibong-bibong bata, napakamasayahin pa. Pag may mga activity kami, sayaw, kanta, enjoy na enjoy niya. Talagang nagpa-participate siya.
Best friendship in the making din si Josh sa kanyang classmates.
Pag po siya nahihirapan, ako po nagtutulong sa kanya. Siya po yung pinaka-mahal na mahal sa akin. Siya din po yung mahal na mahal ko. So sinasabi ko po, wag niyo awayin si Josh.
Inspirasyon si Josh sa kanyang ina.
Masaya lang palagi. Hindi po yung nalulungkot sa kalagayan niya, hindi po siya naiinis. Lagi niya sinasabi sa akin, okay lang ako mama, masaya ako. Kaya hindi po kami nagpapakita sa kanya ng kami ay nawawalan ng pag-asa.
Gayun din sa social media. Nais nga raw niya maging vlogger.
Yung parang magrararo talaga. Yung buhay, baby, nagjohan mo. Diba, nagrararo ka. Mag-vlog ka doon.
Pero ano man ang nais ni Josh, iisa lang ang hangad ng mga nagmamahal sa kanya. Ang maabot niya, ang kanyang pangarap.
Alright, so that's it for this lesson. I hope you have learned something meaningful that you can use in your teaching endeavors. So thank you for listening and God bless everyone.